So, when doubt arises in the mind, it's really tempting to buy into those thoughts. For some reason, those thoughts sound a little more important, a little more believable than the other thoughts. The thoughts about what happened yesterday or a conversation we're planning to have later in the day, or perhaps, I don't know, the chores we have to do at home. Those don't kind of seem, we know, we're used to that. We kind of know they don't require our immediate attention. But somehow that little thought, that little question mark, that doubt that arises in the back of the mind, somehow it feels like it deserves more importance. But it is just a thought. And like any other thought, the the aim here, the intention is to step back, to have a little bit of distance from the thoughts, from the feelings, not to buy into them, not to get swept away by them, not to get overwhelmed by them, but instead to see them clearly and to let them go. Now, of course, thoughts of this nature have the potential to prevent us from even sitting down to get some headspace. We might not even have got to the point of beginning the exercise, and already the mind is, do I have time? I don't know. Or is this going to work? Or are these techniques, are they really going to make a difference? Even if we've done it before, even if we've experienced the difference, still these question marks might rise in the mind. So it's really important that we kind of work with this in two ways. On the one hand, we're saying, okay, these are just thoughts. We don't treat them in any other way. And at the same time, we can actually reflect. And you'll notice at the end of each kind of session, I always ask you to just notice how you're feeling now. And over time, the mind starts to recognize that it feels different now. And in recognizing that, it gains confidence, it gains trust. And it's trust not because I say it works, it's not because of historically these techniques have been shown to work, or scientifically even. Instead, it's your experience. And and you can reflect on that and, okay, well, yeah, actually, I did feel different. And that's what it means to kind of build kind of genuine confidence and trust in these techniques. And it's a really important part of it. But from a bigger perspective, it is about kind of seeing those thoughts clearly and not buying into them. I think when we're learning these techniques, it can be, doubts especially active in the mind. And it's usually about our own worries and concerns of whether we're doing it in the right way. So rather than simply doing the exercise, we're thinking about doing the exercise, and we're thinking about whether we're doing it right or whether we need to do something else. And why isn't this happening? And I wonder if I should be doing a bit more of that. So doubt arises in that way. Again, don't be too worried, concerned about that. It's perfectly normal. It's part of that learning process. And as you move from sort of learning the technique to practicing it, ultimately to sort of mastering it, you'll see that background chatter and doubt tends to dissipate quite quickly. But as you move on and as you continue to sit and get some headspace on a daily basis over a really long period of time, you may well again encounter doubt. And it's an interesting one because we kind of feel like we've moved past it. We feel like we've left it behind. And yet this time, the doubt's a little bit stronger. It's a deeper sense of doubt. And it's often doubt kind of, I wouldn't say existential, but it's a bigger kind of question. And that is, I think, is vital at that point, that we don't buy in to the thoughts that arise, and instead we sit and we get comfortable with doubt. And like any other thought or emotion, we allow it to be present, to unwind in its own way. And when we do that, something really, really interesting begins to happen.